I don't know what to say about this figure. For one thing, it is not the same Batman figure that I've been showing off with all my Bat vehicles being nothing more than Batmobiles. Which you could probably see right here, which we'll get to eventually, just not in this review, trust me. Anyway, today's review is going to be a part 1 for a part 2, which has got no incorporation with this review whatsoever, except for the fact that what I'm about to review next will be using this figure right here just to make a little more difference instead of having to use this figure over and over again. So, why am I going through this figure? Just to get it out of the way. I really cannot say much about this figure except it's got some good points, it's got some bad points. I'm going to try and get that all out of the way in less than 5 minutes. Okay, so here we go. Without any interruptions whatsoever, this is the review of Toybiz's version of the Michael Keaton Batman figure. Which, you know, it's just Batman. It's not Parachute Batman, it's not Skydive Batman, it's not Grapple Gun Batman, it's not Crime Attack Batman, it's not Power Wing Batman, it's not Scuba Diving Batman, it's no Batman except for just Batman, which the package says Batman, Batman. With a bat rope that's hidden inside his utility belt, which we're going to get into right now. So here's the figure. I have nothing to say about it except for the fact that I don't know what they were thinking. The head sculpt is not Michael Keaton. This head sculpt on the Kenner one is Michael Keaton. As you can see, there are different incarnations of this Batman figure during the Toybiz license run, which was only for a year, and then they lost it back to Kenner. But before anybody tells me that I'm wrong about my history facts, well, okay, the truth being that Toybiz had a license for another DC collection of superheroes, including Batman, which ran for a few years after Kenner gave up the license. And just because of how popular the Batman films were, or, you know, the Batman film was at the time, after so many issues and complaints about the quality control with Toybiz's Batman figures, I mean, it was just running up a storm. And, I mean, I think it was Warner Brothers that decided that the license just was not appropriate for Toybiz, so they gave it back to Kenner, which Kenner gladly accepted because they saw potential in the Batman film for a toy run, which would make lots and lots of money. So, yeah, hopefully I got that all right. I'm not so sure. I didn't look up my history. But I believe that's how it went. So, anyway, this is their Batman figure, which was 1 out of 3 characters. That's all they have for the movie license. So, yeah, this is Batman with his hidden bat rope inside his utility belt, which takes up the utility belt. So yeah, I got nothing to hang it onto. It's retractable. Batman shoots up like so. You let go of Batman, he goes right up. He comes with some accessories. He's got a Batarang, which is very nicely detailed. It looks true to the movie accuracy. You can put it inside his hand, which is a little tight and kind of hard to do. And there's a little clip on the Batarang which hooks up to the utility belt, which the only real difference is that when you have it hooked up to the Batarang, he'll shoot up very slowly. Unlike from what you're seeing right here. I mean, he goes like about maybe that slow when you've got it hooked up to the Batarang, which I'm not going to do because it's very hard to get it in there. And you might actually break the rope on the utility belt, which I don't want to do. And then, of course, he's got his grapple gun from the film, which is also nicely sculpted. So nice work there, Toybiz. Awesome job. But, I mean, if you've seen the film as much as I have, this just doesn't do it any justice. I mean, this is almost as bad as Crime Attack Batman's missile firing gimmick thing. I mean, it's just too big. The only difference is this one's hooked up to his hand, while Crime Attack, you have to slap it onto his arm. But, I mean, really, for something back then in the 80s, you had to use your imagination. It's pretty cool. At least it hangs on to his arm. I mean, sorry, it's in his hand. So yeah, it works. But nothing else about that. Nothing really special. But what really makes this figure pop beyond Power Wing Batman or Crime Attack Batman, which I'm just going to show off right here, is the bat suit. I mean, for a toy, this was pretty good. I mean, I really love this figure. I really do. Especially the utility belt. It's just awesome. Nice stripings and nice design to the boots. The cowl is just perfect. The sculpt of Michael Keaton is fantastic. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better figure until you found out about this one. I've known about this for quite a few years now because my brother, Autobot John, had these figures back then when he was a kid. He had Batman, he had Bob the Goon, he had Joker, he had the Batmobile. And I believe that's it. And I never really did notice this until like maybe a few weeks back. When I got this figure just this week actually, I had to really look into this when I heard and found out the truth that the bat suit's accuracy really does show up on this figure. He's got the body armor. Unlike Kenner's, it's just a muscular body painted in black. Body armor. Gauntlets. The cowl. The back of the freaking suit. And last but not least, the boots. So yeah, I mean, this figure's packing a lot of heat with weapons and accuracy to the suit, except for the utility belt, but due to the gimmick, I can understand why it's so big and why it's just only half a belt. But at least they painted the back, so that's nice. Kind of makes it look like a full-line belt, but it's not. Now, my only real issue about this figure is his soft goods cloth cape. As you can see, it is very transparent. So you can see the back of Batman's ass inside. So yeah, there's the famous bat ass. Unlike Kenner's, it's very solid. I mean, you can see it, but it's showing up as much as it is with this one. It's a lot more shinier, I'll give it that, but I mean, really, this is the better cape. Also to the fact that the scale on it is perfect, unlike this one right here with the Toybiz. It's too short. It should be more down here. It's too short. So I don't know what they were thinking about that. But overall, the figure is nice, and I'll just go ahead and show you off the articulation. There's a little more of a difference between this one and this one. In the fact that this one, he has head rotation, shoulder rotation, his waist, his legs go up and down, and then that's really it. This one, on the other hand, has got all that and knee joints. Fucking knee joints. That is awesome. I did not know that with this figure, because back then, when my brother had these figures, I was just a baby. So how was I supposed to know about this more dominant figure? It makes me want to take this Michael Keaton head and pop it onto this figure and make it the dominant figure. Worry about the utility belt with a custom sculpting. But other than that, I mean, that's really it. There's the difference between the two. And that really is the end of this review, because I've got nothing else to say. Overall, they're pretty much one and the same, except for scale and a few other things. But really, which one should you actually go for? Which one's the more dominant Batman figure? I'm just going to give it to the Dark Knight Collection, because really, they had a longer run. There were more figures to be produced, unlike the Toybiz one, which only had a year run. But beyond the suit, there really is nothing else more special to this figure. This is definitely the better one, the one you should actually go for, because really, like I said, they lost the license because of quality issues. So I'm really worried about this figure. He does have some tight joints, but I'm afraid that sooner or later, one of the knees might give, or maybe an arm, or maybe even the head, which would be a grace. So yeah, I mean, that's it. Nothing else to say. I've given you my opinion on this figure. Hopefully you enjoyed this review, but you guys are waiting for this one, because you guys have left it high in demand ever since I showed it off. And this will be the figure I will be reviewing with the Batwing. Not just any Batwing. the Turbojet Batwing, a part of Kenner's Batman, The Dark Knight Collection. Stick around for part 2, guys. I'll be right back.